Hello, everyone. Welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel, the one-stop destination where we don't just discuss topics, we decode them in the exact question-answer format that you may actually see in your examination. Reading a topic is one thing, but facing it in the Q&A format? That's an entirely different ball game, my friends. And we're here to train you for that game. We've already sent this month's current affairs copy straight to the inbox of all our subscribers. And let me tell you, these topics aren't random. They're carefully selected, curated, and crafted keeping in mind the staff aspirants, the Part D aspirants, and especially our DSSC warriors. These aren't just good to know. They're must know. You can expect at least one question from these in your upcoming exams. And if you haven't booked your copy yet, what are you waiting for? Just call the number flashing on your screen and book your copy now. Don't miss out, especially if you're aiming high. To our DSSC aspirants, I know what you're thinking. Should I go ahead with these notes? Let me be straight, if you're already subscribed to USI or UAI, do this. Compare the topics. Judge the depth. And then grab your soft copy. Plus, we are running limited time offers for all our staff exam aspirants. So make the smart move. Our team is here to do one thing: provide you only what matters. The real stuff. The exam relevant stuff. No fluff. No filler. So without any further delay, let's jump straight to our studio and kick off today's session with the top 7 must-know current affairs topics, handpicked, exam-focused, and specially tailored to boost your chances. Grab your notebook, stay with us till the end, because trust me, each of these questions could be your ticket to cracking that exam. Let's go.
Thank you. Let's move ahead with the question and answer. Question number 1, which is most critical question, one that ties together missile warfare, AI, and asymmetric deterrence. Question 1 states, analyze the strategic implications of Iran's Operation True Promise 3 in the context of evolving missile warfare and asymmetric deterrence. How does the IRGC's deployment of AI-assisted, multi-vector strike tactics challenge conventional air defense systems like Israel's Iron Dome? Discuss the broader impact of this operation on regional stability, civilian protection norms, and the future trajectory of cyberkinetic warfare. Let's us discuss this question with our expert.
Thank you, Ashi. So, to answer this, start with a bigger picture. What does Operation True Promise 3 reveal strategically? Just remember the word fire. F. Flashpoint escalation. Iran's response to Israeli strikes on Natanz and Isfahan wasn't symbolic. Direct missile attacks on Tel Aviv, Haifa, and Rehovot marked a deliberate escalation. Infrastructure disruption. Power plants, refineries, scientific hubs, all targeted. Not just military retaliation, but a strategic strike to cripple economic and civilian infrastructure. R. Revolutionary tech shift. The big game changer, AI-guided, multi-vector missile systems. This is no longer traditional warfare. It's Iran upgrading its asymmetric playbook. Eroding Doctrines. And here's the kicker, it exposes weaknesses in Israeli air defense, shifting the threat landscape across the entire region.
And how exactly does this new missile strategy overwhelm systems like the Iron Dome?
Yes, it's intense, and the mnemonic makes that clear. DAM. Decoy saturation. Real and fake targets flood the sky. The Iron Dome is forced to react to everything, draining its interceptors. AI trajectory shifts. Missiles change course mid-flight. Standard interception logic? Useless. Misaligned defense triggers. System gets confused. Misfires. Radar loops. A recipe for internal chaos. Numerous vectors. It's not just one type of missile, but different kinds from multiple directions. That's how you pierce even a layered defense.
But beyond tech, what does this mean for the region?
This operation has deep geopolitical ripple effects. Let's break it down using war. W. Widening conflict risk. Hezbollah, Syria, other proxies. One flashpoint, and the Middle East could face multi-front escalation. A. Arms race trigger. Now everyone wants AI-enabled missile systems. We're not just in an arms race, we're entering a cyberkinetic one. R. Reduced stability. Deterrence models are breaking down. What replaces them? Preemptive strikes, paranoia, and instability.
And with that, the rules of war are changing, including how we protect civilians.
This is where it gets ethically uncomfortable. The impact on civilian norms is captured by the word hurt. H. High-density targeting. Residential zones are no longer off limits. The line between combatant and civilian? Fading fast. U. Undermining IHL. International humanitarian law is being stretched. Proportionality, distinction, now gray areas. R. Response complexity. How do you retaliate proportionately without causing more humanitarian fallout? The calculus is messy. T. Tactical shielding. Civilians are becoming part of the battleground, intentionally or not. A dangerous new normal.
And finally, let's talk future. What does this mean for warfare itself?
If you want a glimpse into tomorrow's battle space, remember code. C. Convergence of tech. AI. Cyber deception. Real-time targeting. We're talking about adaptive, machine-led combat. O. Offensive autonomy. Missiles that don't wait for human input. It's fast, efficient, and ethically troubling. D. Defense obsolescence. Iron Dome isn't outdated, but it's definitely challenged. Defense must evolve or become irrelevant. E. Escalation by hacking. Spoofed radars. Jammed signals. Cyber war is no longer support. It's part of the main strike strategy.
Operation True Promise 3 isn't just an attack, it's a signal. A demonstration. And a warning about the next-gen warfare that's already here. Let's keep going. On to question 2 coming up next. Let's move to question number 2, where asymmetric warfare meets technology and FPV drones redefine deep strike capability. Question number 2 states: Operation Spider's Web demonstrated a paradigm shift in asymmetric warfare through the use of low-cost, commercially available FPV drones for strategic strikes deep inside Russian territory. A. Analyze the planning, execution, and technological innovations employed in the operation, with emphasis on deployment methods, targeting accuracy, and EW countermeasures. B. What key operational and intelligence failures did the operation expose on the adversary's part? C. Drawing parallels with Operation Sindoor, examine the doctrinal and structural lessons for the Indian Armed Forces in drone warfare, CUAS preparedness, intelligence integration, and protection of critical infrastructure. D. Highlight the evolving role of non-state actors and sympathizers in such operations and suggest mitigation measures relevant to the Indian context. So, to answer this, let's move to our expert.
Ashi, let me make it clear to my viewers that this wasn't a random drone swarm. Operation Spider's Web was a meticulously planned, multi-phase assault that hit Russia deep from within. Here's how it unfolded. Planning. The operation targeted 5 Russian air bases across 3 time zones. Not just any bases, but ones hosting strategic bombers and even a nuclear submarine facility. They deployed 117 FPV drones, each with an individual controller, a high degree of coordination for a low-cost strike. Execution. Launches came from mobile cabins disguised in cargo trucks, completely hidden. These cabins carried secret launch pads and embedded control systems. In fact, the drones were pre-positioned inside Russia, staying undetected for days or even weeks. That's next-level infiltration. Launches were done just 2 kilometers away from target zones, ensuring both surprise and accuracy. Technological innovations. Each drone was an OSA quadcopter, carrying 3.5 4 kg RPG warheads. Live video control enabled precision targeting. And here's the innovation kicker: Optical fiber-based controls made them almost jam-proof within short ranges, a nightmare for enemy EW systems.
Now let's flip the lens. What went wrong on the Russian side?
First, they failed to detect long-term sabotage happening inside their own territory. Drones were stored and launched locally without raising any red flags. Second, there were no early warning systems active near some of Russia's most sensitive military zones. And most critically, the Russians completely overlooked the insider threat, whether from infiltrated sympathizers or compromised personnel. That's an intelligence failure of the highest order.
So what does this mean for India? Especially when we compare it with our experience in Operation Sindoor?
So, Ashi, the lessons the India has learned from it was in doctrine, structure and strategy way. So, let us discuss it one by one. First, drone warfare. The message is clear. Drones are no longer sidekicks. They're now the main attack tool in modern OPS. India must fully embrace MUMT, man-and-man teaming, to amplify operational efficiency. Second, CUAS preparedness. Systems like Akashtir must go from concept to field deployment. More importantly, we need to train for jam-proof and AI-powered drone threats, not just the basic quadcopters. Third is intelligence integration. Coordination gaps between intelligence arms, those need to be closed fast. Internal threats must be addressed with counter-infiltration drills and tighter surveillance of critical units. And last is protecting critical infrastructure. We must harden key assets, from airbases to nuclear facilities, using 24/7 drone detection, AI-enabled sensors, and M-guns.
But behind all this hardware is a growing concern, the role of non-state actors and underground sympathizers.
So, let us move ahead and discuss about non-state actors and mitigation real-world risk. Firstly, let's talk about evolving role. Sympathizers moved and hit drones, arranged logistics, and possibly even guided strikes, proving that low-cost tech plus motivated networks is a dangerous mix. Non-state actors are no longer spectators, they're force multipliers. Next is mitigation for India. India must monitor local sympathizer networks, especially near sensitive zones. Watch for foreign tech inflows from nations like China or Turkey. And most importantly, invest in our own tech stack, AI drones, optic fiber control, and robust CUAS systems.
Let's move to question number 3. Coming up next, we now shift to the digital battlefield, because in modern warfare, code can be as lethal as a missile. Question number 3 states: critically evaluate the strategic significance of cyber Suraksha in strengthening India's cyber defense posture. How does the initiative reflect the evolving role of the Defense Cyber Agency in an era of hybrid warfare? In your response, discuss the challenges of securing military digital infrastructure and the importance of coordinated training, intelligence sharing, and institutional readiness in national cyber deterrence.
So, to all my viewers, I want to make it clear that at its core, Cyber Suraksha isn't just a tech initiative, it's a strategic shield built for hybrid warfare. Let's decode it using the Mnemonics SafeNet. Let us understand S. Simulated threats. The program uses gamified, real-world cyber attack drills, a shift from theory to actual threat environments. A. Awareness culture. Cybersecurity becomes a mindset, not just a department embedded across all defense institutions. F. Fast response. Real-time simulations enhance readiness, preparing teams to respond under actual pressure. E. Evaluation tools. It benchmarks each agency's cyber strength using modular assessments and response metrics. N. National coordination. Brings together CISOs, cyber units, and defense leadership, one strategy, one network. E. Engagement at scale. Not just a few units, the initiative involves multi-agency, pan-India participation. T. Tactical advantage. In hybrid warfare, cyber strength is equal to deterrence power. This is India building that edge.
So who's leading this digital charge? Enter the Defense Cyber Agency.
Let us discuss role of Defense Cyber Agency in hybrid warfare. Here's how the Defense Cyber Agency fits into India's modern defense structure, broken down as WARTEC. W. Warfare Leadership. Defense Cyber Agency is India's lead command for all things cyber warfare, offensive and defensive. A. All forces unity. Army, Navy, and Air Force work together under this thrice-service cyber umbrella. R. Real-time response. The agency runs certs and responds instantly to breaches. Think of it as India's cyber QRT. T. Top-down oversight. It reports to the Chief of Defense Staff, ensuring strategic alignment. E. Enhanced intelligence. Defense Cyber Agency fuses threat data from multiple sectors into actionable insights. C. Central control. From cyber attack to countermeasure, Defense Cyber Agency is the nerve center. H. Holistic defense. Their role spans operational to strategic, unifying the digital and battlefield domains.
But while Cyber Suraksha is bold and the Defense Cyber Agency is capable, India still faces serious structural challenges. Let us understand it.
We will understand the cyber infrastructure challenges, mnemonic, shield. The word here is shield, and it's exactly what needs strengthening. S. Skill gap. There's a serious shortage of deep cyber experts in uniform. H. High-tempo threats. Threats evolve hourly, from malware to deepfakes to nation-state espionage. I. Infrastructure risks. Core networks remain vulnerable to zero-day exploits and unpatched systems. E. Evaluation void. No consistent framework exists to test actual response capacity under cyber fire. L. Lack of drills. Crisis simulations aren't frequent or realistic enough. They need to mimic real attacks. D. Decision lag. Institutions sometimes freeze under cyber stress. Decision-making reflexes must improve.
So what's the path forward? It lies in training, intel sharing, and institutional readiness.
Alright, then let's talk about importance of training and coordination, mnemonic, TIR up. To boost cyber doctrines, we need to TIR up our systems. T. Tabletop exercises. Train senior leadership to make fast, informed decisions during active breaches. I. Intelligence loop. Enable real-time collaboration between CISOs and military command for threat alignment. R. Real-world scenarios. Run full-force simulations based on past attacks. Learn by doing, not just reading. U. Upskilling modules. Cyber education must scale from entry-level to strategic leadership. P. Policy integration. Cyber drills must directly link with Doctrine, SOPs, and national security frameworks.
Cyber Suraksha is India's strategic firewall, but only if we bridge our shield gaps and TIR up fast. Because in today's world, cyber is not the fifth domain of war. It's the first. Up next, question 4. Stay tuned. Let's move to question number 4, one that takes us into the world of nuclear strategy, existential deterrence, and psychological warfare. Question number 4 states, critically evaluate the strategic rationale and implications of Israel's Samson option in the context of its ongoing conflict with Iran. How does the doctrine of massive retaliation influence regional deterrence dynamics, military planning, and the psychological dimension of nuclear diplomacy? In your response, consider the role of strategic ambiguity and the risks associated with such a posture in an increasingly volatile West Asian security environment.
To answer this, let us understand the Samson option mnemonic, SMASH. At the heart of Israel's nuclear doctrine is what's known as the Samson option, built on the SMASH principle. S. Strategic ambiguity. Israel neither confirms nor denies having nukes. Estimates range from 80 to 400 warheads. This keeps adversaries guessing. M. Massive retaliation. It's a doomsday promise. Nukes will only be used in case of national annihilation. A. Aggressor deterrence. The idea is simple. If you attack us, you go down with us. That's mutual destruction as a deterrent. S. Sacrificial symbolism. Named after Samson from the Bible, destroy the enemy, even if it means self-destruction. H. Hybrid platforms. Delivery from land, air, and sea. It's built for survivability and second strike capability.
So what's the rationale behind this extreme posture?
Think of it as Israel building a nest around its survival. N. National survival. The Samson option exists only to protect Israel from being wiped off the map. E. Existential deterrence. It's not about war fighting, it's about sending a message. We won't go quietly. S. Psychological warfare. Fear does the job here, not the warhead itself. T. Theater ambiguity. Enemies don't know how or when Israel might respond, and that's a powerful confusion weapon.
But any doctrine this extreme carries major regional implications.
Let's break it down using RAMP. R. Regional deterrence. Iran, Hezbollah, they all think twice before escalating. That's deterrence, done psychologically. A. Arms race trigger. But here's the flip side. Others now want deterrence too. Think Iran, Saudi, Turkey. M. Military posture shifts. Nations redesign war plans around Israel's nuclear shadow. P. Preemptive strike risk. Ironically, fear of the Samson option might trigger a strike before it can be used.
This doctrine isn't just military, it's also a tool of nuclear diplomacy.
Let's talk about nuclear diplomacy, mnemonic, shadow. It operates in the shadow of conventional diplomacy. S. Silent strength. No need to shout. Just let your enemy wonder what's coming. H. Hybrid diplomacy. Mix of backchannel diplomacy and raw deterrence. A. Alliances impacted. The US, EU, and Arab allies factor Israel's posture into every strategy. D. Diplomatic pressure. Used subtly to influence negotiations. O. Operational whale. The ambiguity itself enhances the credibility of deterrence. W. War psychology. What makes this powerful isn't the weapon, it's the fear of retaliation.
But let's not forget, a doctrine like this carries enormous risks and criticisms.
Let's talk about risks and criticisms, mnemonic, fatal. And yes, the risks are truly fatal. F. False flag risks. Ambiguity might cause miscalculated or accidental responses. A. Ambiguity overload. Too much mystery can lead to dangerous assumptions. T. Tactical escalation. Nuclear rhetoric can provoke gray zone conflict. A. Arms proliferation. Others may now want nukes of their own, leading to a regional arms race. L. Limited leverage. Over-reliance on nukes may reduce diplomatic flexibility in the long run. The Samson option is Israel's last resort, an existential sword hanging in silence. It builds deterrence through ambiguity, fear, and psychology, but also fuels instability if misread or misused. In a region like West Asia, where hybrid warfare, proxy actors, and ideological clashes collide, this doctrine is both a shield and a spark. The balance between deterrence and dialogue is now more important than ever.
If you're finding value in this deep dive series,
don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. We break down strategy, not just syllabus, and we're just getting started. Let's now move to question number 5.
Question number 5 states, the United States launched Operation Midnight Hammer using B-2 bombers and precision bunker-buster weapons to strike Iranian nuclear facilities, marking a significant escalation in the region. A. What are the key features of the B-2 Spirit bomber, and how do they support its stealth and precision capabilities? B. What were the objectives of Operation Midnight Hammer, and what impact did it have on Iran's nuclear infrastructure? C. How does the use of stealth air power in such operations influence deterrence strategy and regional stability in West Asia?
Let's start with the US Air Force's most advanced bomber, the B-2 Spirit. Its capabilities can be summed up in one word: STEALTH. S. Stealth profile. With a minimal radar cross-section, the B-2 is nearly invisible to enemy radars, even in contested airspace. T. Twin pilot automation. Just two pilots, operating a system so advanced it handles long-duration missions with minimal manual input. E. Endurance. This bird can fly over 6,000 nautical miles non-stop. Add mid-air refueling, and the reach becomes global. A. Arsenal versatility. From 30,000-pound GBU-57 bunker busters to JDAMs and long-range cruise missiles like Jusmer, it hits anything, anywhere. L. Lethality. Part of the US nuclear triad, capable of delivering both nuclear and conventional payloads. T. Technological edge. At $2.1 billion per aircraft, it's one of the world's most advanced flying weapons platforms. H. Hardened target hunter. Built to destroy deep underground bunkers like Natanz, Isfahan, or Fordo.
So what exactly was Operation Midnight Hammer, and why did it matter?
Let's move ahead and talk about objectives and impact. Mnemonic, DEAF strike. The US hit hard and hit smart. Let's break down the goals using DEAF. D. Degrade nuclear capability. Key Iranian nuclear sites, Fordo, Natanz, Isfahan, were hit to cripple uranium enrichment capacity. E. Exhibit power projection. Demonstrated that the US could reach deep, strike precisely, and leave almost no trace. A. Air supremacy demonstration. Combined B-2 stealth, Tomahawk strikes, and decoy operations to neutralize Iranian air defenses. F. Force posture signal. It wasn't just a strike. It was a warning to Iran and to anyone watching that red lines will be enforced. Moving ahead, let's look at the impact. The strikes heavily damaged Iran's nuclear infrastructure, setting back its enrichment programs. But they also spiked tensions across West Asia, militarily, diplomatically, and psychologically.
Now let's unpack the bigger consequences for deterrence, doctrine, and regional balance.
Now, let's talk about strategic and regional implications, mnemonic, SID effects. Here's how the strike reshaped the region, summarized in SID. S. Strategic deterrence reinforced. It told Iran and others, if you build hardened nuclear sites, we can still take them out. I. Instability risk. But now the region's on edge. Hezbollah, IRGC proxies, or Yemen-based actors may retaliate unpredictably. D. Deterrence doctrine reset. Iran might now switch tactics, going asymmetric, or speeding up enrichment in deeper, more secretive locations. E. Escalation of ambiguity. Now others want stealth tech too, pushing the region closer to a stealth arms race. Operation Midnight Hammer was as much about psychology as it was about precision. It reinforced American dominance in stealth warfare, but it also raised the stakes across an already fragile region. In an era of hybrid conflict, the ability to strike silently and deny it loudly has become the new face of deterrence.
From stealth strikes to summit standoffs, let's shift to diplomacy now. Question 6 states, India declined to endorse the SCO draft declaration at Qingdao over the omission of terror threats it faces, asserting its commitment to a zero-tolerance policy on terrorism. A. What is the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO, and what are its core objectives and structure? B. Why did India refuse to sign the SCO draft statement? What concerns did it raise regarding the handling of terrorism? C. How does this move reflect India's strategic autonomy and approach to multilateral diplomacy within China-led forums?
Let us first understand, what is the SCO? The Shanghai Cooperation Organization, or SCO, is not just another summit club. It's a powerful Eurasian bloc blending politics, security, and economic coordination. Established. Formed on 15 June 2001, born from the 1996 Shanghai Five, with security at its core. Current members 10. India, China, Russia, Pakistan, plus the Central Asian Five, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and newly added Iran and Belarus. Core objectives: security cooperation, focus on terrorism, extremism, and regional stability. Economic synergy, trade, infrastructure, energy. Multipolarity push, support for non-Western governance models and fair global order. Key organs: HSC, heads of State Council, the top decision-making body. RATS, regional anti-terrorist structure, supposed to fight terror. But here's where things start to break down. Now let's get to what happened at Qingdao and why India drew a red line. Part 2. Why India refused to sign the SCO draft. Here's the full picture, stripped down to facts and intent. 1. What triggered it? At the recent defense ministers' meet in Qingdao, India flat out refused to sign the joint declaration. 2. India's core concerns. Terror bias alert. India noticed that the Pahalgam terror attack, where its soldiers were targeted, was excluded. Meanwhile, the Jafar Express hijack in Pakistan was included. Who blocked it? Pakistan likely used backchannel influence to block India-specific references, twisting the consensus. 3. India's response. Reinforced zero tolerance on terrorism. Called out groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba. Demanded equal recognition of all terror threats, no cherry-picking. Now why does this matter for India's foreign policy playbook? Let's decode this using 5 core ideas. Mnemonic, SPINS. S. Strategic autonomy. India stood its ground even in a China-dominated forum, just like it did post-Galwan and during Operation Sindoor. P. Propaganda undone. India's refusal exposed attempts to frame SCO declarations against Indian security interests. I. India breaks consensus. 10-member group? Doesn't matter. India challenged the status quo, refusing to rubber stamp what it didn't believe in. N. Non-negotiable stance. Clear message: India won't compromise on terrorism, even at the cost of diplomatic optics. S. Setting the future agenda. India is now pushing for RATS reform at the Tianjin SCO summit to ensure no terror narrative is selectively erased again.
Now, let's dive into our final question of this part, and it's about firepower, stealth, and strategy at sea. Question number 7 states, the delivery of INS Udaygiri under Project 17 highlights India's push toward indigenous, stealth-capable blue water naval platforms. A. What is Project 17A and how does INS Udaygiri reflect advancements over earlier Indian frigate classes? B. What are the key stealth and combat features of INS Udaygiri, and how do they enhance its operational capabilities? C. How does Project 17 contribute to India's maritime self-reliance and regional power projection in the Indo-Pacific?
Let's us understand it step by step. First, we will understand about Project 17 Alpha. Project 17 isn't just a warship program. It's India's naval leap into the future. S. Successor to Shivalik class. Next-gen design building on India's first stealth frigates. T. Timeline optimized. INS Udaygiri was delivered in just 37 months, a record in Indian shipbuilding. E. Enhanced indigenous content. More Indian components is equal to stronger defense ecosystem. A. Advanced construction. Modular pre-outfitting cuts build time drastically. L. Launch year 2015. Steady progress across the decade. T. To shipyards. Mazago Dock, MDL, in Mumbai and GRSE in Kolkata powering the project. H7, 7 frigates. INS Udaygiri is the second ship. Others are in various stages of trials and fitting. Compared to the Shivalik class, Udaygiri is leaner, meaner, and digitally smarter.
But what makes Udaygiri so lethal on the high seas? Let's break down its combat DNA.
Part 2. Key features: Mnemonic, smart guns. S. Stealth hull. shaped to vanish from radars. Think invisibility cloak on water. M. Missiles. Supersonic SSMs for ships. SAMs for air threats. It's fully loaded. A. Automated IPMS. Runs like a self-aware machine, smart controls, fewer crew needed. R. Radar signature reduction. Sleek angels and materials make it almost ghost-like. T. Twin CIWS guns. Close-in weapon systems to shred incoming threats. G. Gas diesel codog. Fuel-efficient propulsion that's also combat-ready. U. Upgraded hull. 4.54% larger than Project 17, allowing for better stability and space. N. Next-gen sensors. Digitally fused combat management systems. S. 76mm main gun. Multi-role gun, ideal for both offense and warning shots. It's a hunter, defender, and strategic enforcer, all rolled into one stealth frigate. Part 3. Let us look at its strategic role. Mnemonic, Blue India. So what does Project 17 Alpha mean for India beyond just one ship? B. Boosts self-reliance. A testament to the Atmanirbhar Bharat defense vision. L. Leadership in Indian Ocean. Strengthens India's blue water navy capability. U. Upgrades export potential. These frigates could soon fly made in India flags overseas. E. Employment and innovation. Spurs jobs, research, and defense manufacturing. I. Indian shipyards empowered. MDL and GRSE are now globally competitive. N. Naval presence in Indo-Pacific. Supports mission-based deployments and Sagar initiative. D. Deterrence and defense. Strengthens India's role as a net security provider. I. Integrated combat systems. Sensor-to-shooter link means real-time battlefield awareness. A. Assertive posture. Project 17 Alpha is the tip of India's maritime spear in a contested Indo-Pacific.
And with that, we wrap up Part 2 of July Current Affairs. We've covered defense operations, cyber doctrines, strategic strikes, and naval muscle. And remember, whether you've subscribed to a dozen magazines or not, one thing will set you apart: how well you've revised what matters. Our mission is simple: break complex topics into questions and answers, armed with mnemonics you can actually remember. Join us and be part of the success team. For those who haven't heard, we've prepared a full military history question bank